I would be very interested to know the answer to the following question: that did the papers presented at the IEA either immediately before or even, let's say, immediately after the reforms, what positions did they take? Because in a way, it's the linkage between what happens in the policy world and the political world and what is taught to children, which is really important. And you know, I've kind of reflected on my own experience in my book Backstage, which maybe some of you have seen. And if you haven't, let me put in a kind of vulgar advertisement that why don't you take a look at it. One of the things I found very interesting was that we didn't, when I grew up in university, you know, the fact that the dominant theme was being challenged was not conveyed to us. And I'm not talking, I mean, people talk about whether there is discussion, you know, this wasn't through any explicit censoring, I'm sure. But you know, when you think about it, the planning-oriented strategy, which Panditji was clearly associated with, and many of the intellectuals at the time certainly supported. I mean, within that field was strongly opposed by B.R. Shenoy, the very distinguished Bombay economist. You know, I would have thought that the guys giving us a lecture in St. Stephen's College, that's where I got educated. And I'm sure that some of you here also went to the same college. When they were lecturing about planning, they would say, well, you know, planning, this is what, but there were people opposing it. So that, you know, your mind is stimulated to find out what the hell were they talking about. We were not. I never.
Responsibility on we students economics. It's our responsibility. Because the senior most is Professor Ashangam Sundram 97 plus, and there are so many young we see budding economists also with us. We should join hands together so that our economy is really a Viksit or developed economy at 2047 when we will be celebrating our 100 years of independence. I am thankful to everyone for having invited me to this ceremony.
Some impact on some sections of the thing, but overall, I mean, Sachin or some others say that overall net the employment may increase because there will be demand for certain skilled workers. So their employment will increase, but those who are unskilled and you know, even for drivers and many other things, the unemployment may increase. Unlike the computers overall increase the employment. But here it may lead to inequalities if you don't take care of the particularly unskilled workers and other people. Even at home, you know, the several things may come up like advanced countries. So one has to, this artificial intelligence is good, and also there are bad things about that. For example, the privacy is also because they get a lot of your information and then they disseminate to everybody. On investment, you know, government is important, but there are limits to government spending. Because if you see the national accounts, you know, the demand side, government is only 10% of the thing, whereas mostly it is a private investment. So the decline from 38% to 29%, the investment rate, it's basically the private investment, household investment, and there's a decline. Government still have to invest in their priorities. The health education is the government priority, and then some of the priority infrastructure, those things, rather than, you know, having some other they used to have hotels and airlines, and that is coming down now. So the government priorities are different, and private sector still, you know, the animal spirits are not. They are waiting, I think, you know, for the good uncertainty to go. But uncertainty will not go. Always some shock will be there. So
So domestic demand